Hey guys, my name is Katja and I represent the network. I'm actually co-owner of the network. I am a creative director, photographer, stylist, wife, just everything under the sun. And this here is my amazing business partner.
Loud Pen. So I am a publicist, digital social media strategist, stylist, as well as co-owner of the network. As Kasha was saying, we are business partners. The network is a creative talent agency for emerging ethnic artists. We work with models, stylists, makeup artists, and designers, and other artists.
My name is Priya Williams. I'm 25 years old and I'm the founder and head publicist at Pretty Worlds Publicity and the co-creative director of Kid Biz Children's Magazine, which is slated for release in June of 2012 in Trinidad and Tobago.
It's Barbara Guzman. I'm in my mid-20s. I am into merchandising management.
My name is Danny Elmore. I'm 24 years young, going on 25 soon, and I am a model, actress, fashion designer, writer, and web show host.
My name is Tahira Cordner. I'm 25 years old, and I'm a talent manager, a PR, CEO of my own media company, and a writer and a blogger.
Michael Williams, 24, and I'm an MC.
Frank Arias, also known as Frankito the Model, 25 years old, and I'm a model slash actor.
What inspired me to start this business was I've always been very, how can I put it? How can I put it?
Creative.
Very creative. I've always wanted my own. I've never wanted anybody to kind of dictate what I was going to do and what I was not going to do. You know, I knew that I would be successful in this business because I believe I am talented. I mean, of course, with all the great, amazing little things that comes with owning your own business, you pretty much can dictate, do whatever you want without having somebody to tell you what to do, what not to do. I also, you know, growing up where I grew up, there's so many young women that don't have guidance, and I just wanted to provide that for young women. So that's one of the things that, you know, kind of, you know, inspired me to do.
So I am also 26. Me and Katra's birthdays are not too separate. We're both Virgos. The reason that I decided to start this business is because I really wanted to help others like me. I originally started off like as just a blogger, started off in music blogging, then transitioned into fashion blogging. And so, you know, I kind of built my own successful brand. So I wanted to help others do the same, you know, and I really wanted to focus on like the ethnic because that's where I feel like my talents would be best used and needed, you know, helping other like young, fresh ethnic artists such as myself, you know, build a successful brand, get their names out there and land the kind of projects and things that they want. Yeah, what inspires me basically is mostly like my family, my dad a lot because he also has his own business. He's been in business now for like almost 30 years. So he's a huge inspiration to me as far as like where I want to be in my life and where I want to go. Basically, he's always giving me like tons of advice, both wanted and unwanted. So that's really cool because I basically have like a business advisor that's a phone call away, you know, which is amazing because a lot of people don't have that. As Katja was saying, a lot of people really don't have guidance. They don't have someone that'll tell them, you know, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. So having not only my dad, but my mother as well, just both leading me and guiding me. My mother taught me so much about fashion because she loved to shop. So we were always like in the mall every day, every weekend, like just shopping. So I grew up knowing about every different brand, you know, so I knew fashion and I knew that's kind of where I wanted to go and where I wanted to be. So that's kind of how I led into this.
Yeah, it's kind of still the same for me. Like I had a lot of guidance, you know. I was an athlete for most of my life. I was a tennis player, started playing since I was 6, became a semi-professional player, and I had my dad, you know, guide me and really work with me, and, you know, and that's something that a lot of kids don't have.
When I was a kid, my dad used to tell me that I was made to do PR work, but I've loved to write, I've loved music, I've loved fashion, the things that are all a part of the PR work that I do now. And so it's kind of like it was like this melting pot of everything, but it was definitely my dad's influence in thinking that I should do it. And yeah, that's just pretty much it.
Growing up, my aunts and my mother always designed and sewed their own dresses and shirts and even dresses for me as a little girl. So I would say the fashion aspect is in my family, and just the merchandising and business aspect of it. My father's side, my grandmother ran a business, a small like bodega in Mexico. That's where my family's from. And so it just kind of came together that it worked out that those were my interests and they fit together.
Growing up as a child, what really inspired me to go after all of these different ventures was seeing other people doing it and just really having that spark inside me and just that curiosity as to how they made it happen. There was something about when I first started performing and my first time on stage, just this feeling of exhilaration and just this feeling that I can't even describe almost, that I just knew I wanted to be a performer and, you know, in front of the camera. And since then, it's grown into something, you know, beyond what I could even imagine. But I think my first time performing on stage is definitely what triggered, you know, me pursuing my dreams now.
Well, I grew up as like a Disney kid. My grandmother raised me, and I was always like with singing and dancing. I was always within the creative profession, and I always like to be, you know what I mean, kind of not the center of attention, but the person who's kind of like making everybody laugh and hang out and stuff like that. So I was like dancing for like 11 years, but I stopped that to just be focused in school. I was always very bright. I was like a smart kid, kind of like a nerd, whatever, but like a cool nerd, not one of those nerds that people don't think, like, you know what I mean? People didn't assume that I was as smart as I was, but it helped me out a lot. And I went to college. I have a Master's of Science in Criminal Justice from Long Island University, but obviously I'm not pursuing anything like that right now.
I was born in Yonkers, raised in Brooklyn. I can't say I had a bad childhood. I had a good childhood. My dad was always supportive of me. My mom was always supportive. Growing up, I lost my brother when I was 15. Losing my brother made me, in other words, kind of, you could say, lose my mind. I really stopped giving, how can I say it? I started really not caring about society no more. Started routing myself towards the bad lane. And after a while, like, stuff happens, and I decided to turn myself from that to a positive way right now.
I honestly would have to say it's hard to choose one person because everyone inspires me. The world inspires me. Just waking up and going outside and seeing the different walks of life and people, you know, inspire me to really want to just bring my creativity to the world. I mean, if I had to choose one specific person that inspired me, obviously I'd have to say my mom, you know, and my parents in general, because I really want to make them proud, and they've done so much for me. I just feel like I owe it to them to prove to them that I can, you know, that I can really accomplish what they've invested their money in, what I've invested my time and money in as well. So I'd say, you know, almost everything in the world, but if I had to pick one person that inspired me and influenced me, it'd be my parents.
The person that influenced me to be who I am today has changed a lot within the last 10 years. If you would have asked me maybe 10 years ago who influenced me, I might have said some famous author, oh, maybe Maya Angelou, or maybe Cesar Chavez, or some great iconic figure. But if you ask me now, in my mid-20s, I would definitely say my mother, Andreina. And I say that because now as an adult, I can really appreciate the wisdom and the sacrifices she's made and her strength and just being an average citizen and persevering day to day and making it happen. And making it happen so that I could be here in New York City following my dreams when my mother was raised on a small ranch in the mountains in Mexico with no running water and dirt floors. And she worked hard enough that my brother and I can be in a much better position to have much better opportunities.
What influences me? Majorly myself and a lot of other people that I see. My dad, my mom, the losing of my brother inspires me. Everything, because there shouldn't be a limit to your life. There never should be a limit to your career. There should never be a limit to your dreams. So why should I have to say that you inspire me or they inspire me? I inspire myself because I've came from the bottom and lost a lot of stuff for this. So I can say God, my parents, and myself come first, and then you guys inspire me.
I'd say my greatest influence slash support, I guess, comes from my brother and my sister. I'm naturally competitive, so are they, so it's almost like a race to see who's gonna make it to the top first. There's no real judgmentalness, there's no animosity, there's no not wanting the others to succeed. It's kind of like, yeah, you're great, but I'm gonna be better. Or yeah, you're better, but I'm gonna be wonderful. And it's kind of like great to do that with your siblings and have that climb and leave that family legacy.
My parents are one the major influence on me. I'm saying just the way they provide for me and just their caring ways. Like the main thing for me is the reason that I want to do this so much is like I want it to, like I don't want it ever to be anything that my family wants and can't have. So I figure this microphone, I'm saying all of this, the rhyming, that's gonna get me there. And like people before me, like other moguls like Diddy and Jigga, Master P, and I'm saying Nelly, they all shown that it doesn't have to stop with just music. Music is just I'm saying a doorway to get you wherever you want to be. So things like that is what inspires me.
Who influences me are the people that I've met in life that I seen to be talented, even though like I don't have the creative profession, I'm like the business end of the creative. But I've known a lot of people in my life that are amazingly talented, way talented to people that I've seen that have made it. And I always wanted to just inspire people and they inspired me. Who influenced me also is my grandmother. She left Trinidad and Tobago, her whole family, to move up here to give her family a better life. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. A lot of my family members wouldn't be here. I'm the first generation in my family to like graduate from college in America and make it. So it's like I want to make it big for her so that she can have something, you know what I mean? Like her efforts are well off. Like she left one country to make it another country, and her grandkids are going to be very, very, very successful. The reason I wanted to be an entrepreneur and why I started doing this whole thing is because growing up, I didn't really, you know, in my family, I was smart, but, you know, we never really, they come from a West Indian background. We wasn't raised to own our own, was kind of raised to get a good job and be smart so you can be the best at your job. The society we live in now has changed, and I see that people who make the most and who are successful are the ones that own their own. That's why I started and why I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm smart enough to own my own, smarter than a lot of the bosses that I've had in my past. So I just took that in and just started doing my own. I was in the process of going to law school. In college, I worked for an attorney for 2 years. My background is mostly in legal. Like I have a criminal justice background. So I was planning on going to law school.
Before I moved to New York City, I actually went to high school in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I was a nerd, but I was a cool nerd, and I was actually in the math science specialty program, and I really, really thought I was going to be an engineer, and I actually went to be an EE, electrical engineer, and I got accepted to Marquette University with a lot of scholarships, but seeing as my immigration status was still pending, they did not allow me to receive those scholarships. And so instead of going to an excellent private university, I had to pay out of pocket and go to a technical college. But I still continued to take like my calculus and science courses, thinking I would transfer one day. But things didn't really work out like that. I think that it was a blessing in disguise because that's how I really found out my passion for business and fashion and merchandising, and that's kind of how I realized my dream to move to New York City, even though I didn't know anybody. I just knew that I really wanted to go to my dream school, which was Fashion Institute of Technology. And so all by myself. I came to New York. I came and checked out the school by myself. And I made it up in my mind, like, no matter what it was going to take, I was going to raise the money. I was going to get accepted. And it was a long process. It was a long, arduous process, but it led me here. And 5 years later, I have to make a new, I was just Facebook statusing the other day. I have to make new goals and new dreams, because I feel like a lot of the things I never thought I could do, I'm doing it, and now I'm seeing like there's this whole other side, this whole other world of opportunity for me. I'm seeing of opportunity for me. I'm doing it, and now I'm seeing of opportunity for me. Of opportunity for me.
Okay, so before Imperfect Apparel, my clothing line, and That Damn Web Show, my web show, I was actually just pursuing acting. Throughout high school, I was in musical theater, so I was really, really passionate about being on live stage. You know, I really wanted to do Broadway and stuff. And after I graduated high school, I went to a 2-year conservatory called the New York Conservatory of Dramatic Arts, and that's where I kind of developed my passion for. Before my web show, That Damn Web Show, and my apparel line, Imperfect Apparel, I was actually just strictly pursuing acting. Throughout high school, I was in musical theater, so I was very, very passionate about being, on stage live and music and Broadway. And after I graduated high school, I attended the New York Conservatory of Dramatic Arts, which is actually a film school. So doing that, I kind of fell into doing the web show hosting thing, and my love for musical theater kind of turned into something else. I'm still very passionate about acting, but right now I'm focusing on my clothing line and web show.
Separates me from other entrepreneurs and other, CEOs that have media companies and stuff like that is that I see what other people are doing, and I've seen it before I even started, and I'm doing the complete opposite in a way. It's like I'm supportive of the underground, the indie level, and I'm not trying to make them spend $500 to say perform at one of my events. It's like they don't have it. That's the whole point. They need a platform where they can kind of, just show their talents and not necessarily have to pay all this money to be seen. It's like I take the cost part of it, and I work with people, and there's ways to get around a lot of things, and I think a lot of people think that you need money to do a lot of stuff, and I've learned that you really, really and truly don't. I think that's what separates me the most.
I feel that my personal convictions, my schooling, growing up in Brooklyn, I'm saying just how I intertwined the three and still able to, hold your ear. I think that's what really sets me apart. Just versatility, like a couple weeks ago I did a show at a church in Harlem, and a week before that I'm in a club, or I do shows at a school. So I consider myself a musician and a songwriter. So if you can write, you can, write anything. So if there's a bar mitzvah or wedding coming up, sign me up for that too.
Really, really, and 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 really, really, and
the DREAM Act in the past, so that's something that I'm very passionate about. So immigration reform, seeing as my heritage is Mexican American, that's an issue that's close to my heart. And then also, I've also volunteered at the Retail Action Project here in New York, and they do a lot of workers' rights issues for a lot of the workers who are on the front lines of the fashion world that people seem to forget. So they're the ones that are every day greeting customers and making sure that they're serviced, well, but they're getting, maybe less than $10 an hour in New York City. So we've been working on like the living wage campaign to increase the minimum wage for workers. Wage for workers. Wage for workers.
Actually lost probably a lot of my friends. Like I'm not friends with a lot of people that I go to college with that we were all close. Like they're not pursuing the same goals that I'm pursuing. They're doing their own thing. We're not really that close anymore. I've lost close friends to me that, you know what I mean? People kind of, you're the same until one person starts kind of going a little further and they're a little different. It is what it is. My family is completely supportive of me. My father is supportive of me. My grandmother is supportive of me. My aunts and my uncles, my cousins are very supportive of me. So the family end, I have it down pat. As far as friends go, in this case in my life, I probably have like one, and the rest of them, they're business associates as far as I'm concerned, and I don't really need any more friends.
I've lost technically about 85% of my friends due to the fact that I want to follow my dreams, which is really, it doesn't bother me at all, because all you make me want to do is get more money. You want me to grind more harder. You want me to pursue stuff more. Because why? Because actually right now you're sitting there watching me, and I'm not going to just sit here. I'm going somewhere from here, and you're going to be mad. That's the problem.
The person who told me I shouldn't, they didn't say I shouldn't follow my dreams, just said moving to New York City by yourself is crazy. But yet the person who encouraged me also the most was my mother. She did not want me to move, obviously, by myself, a young woman in her mid-20s to a big city. But she was the same person who helped me pack all my stuff in the car and drive, the 12, 14 hours to the city. And she's the one who helped me settle in on my first day at a new school in a dorm room. And she's always supported me anytime I needed help or just someone to talk to.
Everybody, my family, the close circle of people I keep close to me, everybody's real supportive. I mean, if anything, they've been pushing me before I started pushing me. They've been waiting for me, like, it's about time that you started taking this more seriously. So everybody's real supportive of what I do. I haven't lost any friendships or relationships because of my pursuing this, so it's all good.
Anytime I needed help or always supported me 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 anytime I needed help.
In my off time, which I feel like I really don't get a lot of anymore, I definitely feel like it's really, really important to spend time with my friends and family because they mean like everything to me, and I feel like they really keep me grounded and focused. I also, you know, it's hard to say that I have off time because I feel like I'm always working on something, even when I'm not working in my mind, I'm creating or you know, writing or thinking up something new. So I feel like if I'm not doing that, you know, I'm really just spending quality time with the people that I really, really care about.
When I'm not working, which is very hard to do when you're an entrepreneur. I think we all kind of are hard on ourselves. If we're not being productive, so-called productive in our own hearts and our own minds, you know, I think that it's sometimes hard for us to balance our lives. But I do try to exercise and read and just watch movies and hang out with friends and try to give my attention to the people around me that are supporting me, because that's important also, that the people supporting you need support as well. So I try to, more and more, I try to be able to have that balance. So I try to, more and more, I try to be, so I try to, more and more, I try to be, so I try to, more and more, I try to be, 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 more and more, I try to be,
Hollywood is real hip hop, man. That's basically what it is. It's not too many dances, you know what I'm saying? Not too many sing-along hooks. It's just real rap with a real message, you know what I'm saying, for real listeners.
From before to now, I feel like I've grown so much as a person, and I've learned how to deal with rejection and how to not take no for an answer. You know, there are gonna be tons of doors that are closed in your face, but you can't let that get to you, because in this industry, whether it's business, entertainment, or fashion, you know, it's so competitive. Everyone wants to do it nowadays. And I just learned that you have to persevere. You can't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. And I feel like, you know, before, maybe a couple doors would have got slammed in my face, I would have been discouraged and, you know, kind of just slowed down. Now a door slammed in my face, and it only motivates me more to really keep pushing even harder than I was before. And it only motivates me to really keep pushing even harder and it only motivates me to really keep pushing even harder, even harder. And it only motivates me to really keep pushing even harder, even harder. And it only motivates me to really keep pushing even harder, even harder. And it only motivates me to really keep pushing even harder, even harder. And it only motivates me to really keep pushing even harder, even harder. And it only motivates me to really keep pushing even harder, even harder. And it only motivates me to really keep pushing even harder, even harder. And it only motivates me to really keep pushing even harder.
Being patient enough to let opportunities come to you and not necessarily trying to jump on every opportunity that comes your way. Even though that's difficult in the beginning, but being able to win without fighting, which means you'll have all your resources and you'll have your plans set out so nothing will take you by surprise and you won't have to struggle as much. And I've definitely had to learn the hard way, and that's why I want to help other entrepreneurs or young people to realize the importance of having a solid business plan, and that will be the difference of what makes a dream into a reality and into helping communities, into helping neighborhoods, being able to offer jobs and give back something to the community as well.
One more question.
The Red Eye Media Group, all my clients, is that just look out for us. We're going to be great. Every single person that I've worked with and I've met along these lines have been just amazing. Like I said, they inspire me, and just look out for that.
Who's trying to do the same thing, I would tell you two things. First of all, I tell you, just keep going no matter what. I'm saying whenever it looks like, I'm saying that you're not getting there fast enough, people aren't taking to you like you expected them to. I'm saying as long as you keep pushing, as long as you keep doing your thing, keeping it real to you, you're gonna get there. The other thing, I'm saying, let people know what you do. I'm saying, being able, I mean, I'm not like that myself. I'm trying to get more like that. But being able to just start rhyming at the drop of a dime when somebody wants to hear you rhyme, like letting people know that what your profession is, because you never know, and I'm saying, who's out there, who's listening, who's interested in, I'm saying, looking for an artist. So just put yourself out there.
I would say a message that I really just want to leave, and something that I really feel like I need to say, is just to really always, and as cliche as it sounds, follow your dreams, because I really truly feel like they're a preview of your future and what's to come for you. And I feel like so many people turn their backs on their dream because someone tells them they can't do it, or they feel like they're not good enough for it, or they don't have enough money. Whatever the case is, they end up being their own biggest critic and closing the door on something that could potentially be huge. And I feel like if we stop doing that, so much more can be accomplished, and we can accomplish so much more within ourselves and prove ourselves wrong, as well as other people. So I'd say, to everyone in business and in the entertainment industry, to follow your dreams and to never, ever give up. Your dreams and to never, ever give up. Your dreams and to never, 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 your dreams and to never 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 your dreams and to never.
I have to say to someone that wants to do modeling and acting is, don't be scared. Don't be scared. If you think you're a character, play it out. People want to see this. People need people to express themselves. The problem is most of you people are scared to express yourself. Don't be scared. People pay you for that. People pay you for that. And also all these kids that you're in the corner hustling, grinding, getting money, this, let's go to the club, blow it on rose and all that. You're not really going to get nowhere from that. All you're going to get is to jail. Take it from me. I've been there. I've been in the corner. I haven't slept for 2-3 days. I've pitched crack before. In the corner, 24/7. Where it landed me? In jail. After jail, look where I'm at right now. So if I can do it, you can do it. So then don't let nobody ever in the world tell you because you went to jail or because you hustled or because you're homosexual or because you're a midget or because whatever it is that you can't make it, because everyone's gonna make it if you really follow your dreams.
Welcome to my city. Welcome to my city. Fresh up out that city where there's too much pride. With trend-setting cool niggas seem to all reside. Well, the real niggas die and lanes multiply. Stand alone on my 2 feet cause only strong survive. Rarely converse with guys like chicks with high standards, cause your enemy's the one saying they your mans. If you let them get a grip, even kinda get a handle, that's when you see defeat like open-toe sandals. I'm a vandal, a marksman, assassin with this damn pen. So aiming at this pad is like a murder in a different sense. First 48, yeah, I kill it and they ain't know who did it. Feel like scared straight of these bars making the Mac different. No sleep till Brooklyn, looking out for the jukes, man. Only crook in the castle, I can't be mistaken. In one big room full of bad bitches, they all look the same, made it easy to overlook them. To the top is where I'm climbing, visualized on my horizons to the point where my reality's fantasy seems so obsolete. Couple niggas ran with me, couple niggas double-crossed me. Payback's a bitch, I seen that same girl at hella orgies. Future king is now trying to deliver the feeling. Pay attention, you can still hear the money peeling. Look around the room, you still see I'm ice grilling. Staring to my face and you can still see me not caring. The self-righteous rhyme spitter ain't never said I'm hot cause I'm a fire flame spitter. The top model getter, the new shit rocker. Living a life notorious, that's worth a big papa. And Sean Data, from the side where the things go bumpin' night. But take the 3 train another borough, see the city lights. Everybody out here really trying to get their money right, but when they do they tend to try and stunt motorbikes. But the Michael kicks made you feel like Jordan Wright. Walking in the party feeling right in them Phil nights. Them Barclays and pennies, those lime green phone pods. It took you 3 checks to get it, making